You're watching Chillyboy Productions. I'm Larry Chillyboy Chilson, and this is my review for Being the Ricardos. Now, before we get into this review, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. Being the Ricardos is a 2021 drama written and directed by Aaron Sorkin that follows Lucille Ball as the big explosion hits when the press accuses her of being a communist amongst the Red Scare throughout Hollywood. So in a mission to not only save her reputation and show, but herself, Lucille Ball must undertake one of the most difficult weeks of work she ever experienced. Now, heading into this film, my feelings were already jumbled. First of all, the casting of Javier Bardem stirred up quite the drama, and then Aaron Sorkin not only doubling down, but spouting ignorance, let's just call it what it is, made me quite hesitant for the film. However, I was excited to see what Nicole Kidman particularly was bringing to the role of Lucille Ball, and I do enjoy Javier Bardem. And Sorkin is usually a good bet for a snappy, smart script. But ultimately, Being the Ricardos just kind of fell flat. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, the film looks nice. It's actually one of the most dynamic looking films from Sorkin to date. The cinematography has a little bit more liveliness to it. The camera work actually feels dynamic to an extent. And while I personally wouldn't be handing it cinematography awards, for Sorkin's work, this is very much an improvement over what we've seen previous. As for the acting, I think it's all okay to good. Nicole Kidman is for sure the standout here as Lucille Ball. I think she gives a great performance, though I do think it's lacking some Lucille Ball. And that's a problem when you're playing her in a biopic. But the performance itself actually had a ton of emotion and a lot of weight to it. Javier Bardem is okay. He's definitely much weaker in comparison to Nicole Kidman. He has the charm and he has the flair, which we all already know Javier has, but he doesn't really actually try to embody much of Desi Arnaz, which makes all the controversy surrounding his casting even worse. There's also so much good material in here, so many great tidbits regarding Lucille Ball and her career and her life, though we'll get back into that script when we go to the pure negatives. So then, what just doesn't work so well when it comes to Being the Ricardos? Well, let's pick up right with that script because it is a bit of a jumbled mess. Yeah, we have some instances of snappy dialogue. Sorkin still knows how to write some great one-liners and he throws them in there beautifully. Unfortunately, though, the script is just an unfocused mess, honestly. It covers so many different topics and throws them into this mockumentary-style film where the format doesn't serve the story being told, and honestly, you're left wondering, what is the story being told? We're centering it all around this 1 week of her life, but we're trying to throw in all of these different aspects to her career and life into this 1 week, either by flashback or shoving it in where it might possibly not have actually taken place in the timeline. So we talk about Lucille Ball and the new generation of female comics and that kind of head that takes place. We view Lucille as a worker and as a creative genius behind the scenes, but also how that leads to marital problems. We dive into marital problems. We touch on some groundbreaking stuff that she was bringing up, whether it be showing pregnant women on screen or, right from the beginning, an interracial couple that they were. All of these things, very interesting. They are very fascinating. The studio system, all of that's in here. And it just is too much. None of it gets any type of real development, any type of proper screen time. And it ultimately leads to the worst of Aaron Sorkin's type of filmmaking, and that is just cold. So often he leaves you with this really snappy, witty, sarcastic script that has so little feel to it. And this film demonstrates that. He tries to do so much with the script, and it just leaves you cold. And that crazy structure leads to a really poorly paced film. It slugs along, and with such an interesting person like Lucille Ball, we should be having a ball with the film itself, and we're not. Plus, they don't show much screen time. We don't get that comedy from her. We don't get what made Lucille Ball famous. And it's just a shame that a film with such a larger than life interesting subject comes across as a rather dull and messy sludge. So ultimately, Being the Ricardos is just a mess. The screenplay is so sloppy, it's unfocused, and it leads to a rather boring viewing experience. Nicole Kidman does what she can with the material, but her performance is nowhere near the top tier acting that would be required to try and save this script. So if you're a huge Lucille Ball fan, I even have trouble really recommending this to you because you'll probably tear it apart. But if you already have Prime Video and you're interested in I Love Lucy and Lucille Ball, maybe give it a watch, but certainly don't rush to the theater for this one. And it's not really premiere night viewing on Prime Video either. So that was my review for Being the Ricardos. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Being the Ricardos? And what is your favorite Sorkin film, whether directed or written? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.